Hello, my name is Chris Kraus, and thank you for choosing my video to respond to. The text that I decided to take a closer look at is James Byrd's work called Sacred Scripture, Sacred War, the Bible and the American Revolution. So I'm going to speak about two texts in particular, that one and also our class text, Robert Middlecoff's The Glorious Cause. Now, with James Byrd, I decided to choose chapter 4, teacheth my hands to war and my fingers to fight. And I thought this was the most interesting chapter because it brings up this idea of a David and Goliath. Now, Byrd does a wonderful job with intertwining Bible verses. He actually does it several hundred times throughout not only this chapter, but many else. And with that, he's able to use Bible stories to give proof and evidence to why the colonists went to war to not only fight for their freedom, but fight the British as well. So this David and Goliath scenario is ever present throughout this chapter and many others. Now, this could be attributed from Bible stories that led the colonists to victory. These colonists were extraordinarily religious, most of them, and they used that in order to have sort of a battle cry. To fight the British. So Byrd does a great job of citing it, and one of the things that he uses is the David and Goliath. So he likens David to being the Americans and Goliath to being the British. Now, the reason why this fits so perfectly together is for the fact that, and just to give you a little backstory about David and Goliath, I'm sure everyone knows all about it. But you have Goliath, this strong adversary, and you have David, this lowly farmer and musician. David being likened to the Americans, being small, weak in stature, farming especially, is a perfect scenario. And Goliath being the most powerful person in all the land, likened to the British Army had the strongest army, strongest navy in the world at that time. It was even Lord Cornwallis himself who said that we're just a bunch of farmers with pitchforks, right? Well, and we were, yet we were victorious. Actually, one of the quotes that I'll recite for you from Byrd's book is the fact that the British remained evil, Goliath-like in their proud opposition to American freedom, even in the face of seemingly miraculous American successes on the battlefield. And we were absolutely the David-type scenario. Now, what's interesting is how this goes into play with The Glorious Cause by Middlecoff. So in chapter 12, titled War, both Middlecoff and Byrd confirm how evil the British truly were and how they have that sort of Goliath feel to them. The British were pillaging, plundering, they were attacking and brutalizing civilians. And this is even on the onset of the Revolution, Lexington and Concord, in fact, where they would burn houses. And this was promoted and endorsed and supported by the British officers who were in charge there. And what's interesting is that throughout the war, even the hierarchy of the British the aristocracy said, we have to sort of be nice to these colonists because they'll be our brethren once again, which clearly wasn't the case. But having Byrd citing Bible verses, and especially David and Goliath, this parallel that is drawn in his book, and especially in chapter 4, is profound, and I think that's very, very important to see. So with that, I'd like to conclude. Thank you so much for checking out my video, and hope to comment on yours as well. Thank you.